Zombies break into the school party and provide everyone with hellish fun. It's the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Let's go! This story begins at a mysterious company called Biotine. A lazy and irresponsible janitor named Ron works there. This guy likes music and dances with the mop in his hands. Ron finds himself in one of the laboratories with numerous experimental animals and a rather strange bald man with different devices connected to him. Ron carelessly disconnects these devices and then gives the man a heart massage in an attempt to save his life. The guy tries very hard and even puts some breath mint into his mouth. It works, and the man regains consciousness. However, instead of being grateful, the strange man lounges at Ron. The guy fights back and tries to run away, but the bald man bites him. Multiple times. Ron turns into a zombie and bites one of the lab workers. We meet the other characters. 3 loyal friends, Ben, Carter and Augie, and a grown man named Roger are members of a scout group. They regularly try to recruit the other teens, but no one is interested in it. Today, Augie is supposed to receive the scout's highest honor, the Conde Badge. The ceremony is taking place tonight in the woods. The boys say the scout oath and go home. Ben and Carter have a conversation about their desire to leave the scout group on their way home, but they are worried about disappointing Augie. Distracted by this conversation, the guy accidentally hits a deer. The friends get out of the car and see that the deer can't be saved. In addition, their car has a flat tire. While the boys are solving the problem, a yellow car drives by. It's Carter's sister Kendall and her friends. Ben stares at the girl lovingly. Alas, Kendall only sees him as a friend. Surprisingly, the deer at some point disappears from the road, as if it was never there. Kendall's friends invite the boys to a secret seniors party. This news immediately makes them forget about the deer. However, the friends' good mood is soon spoiled by a crazy neighbor who threatens Carter with a reprisal for scattering garbage on her property. In the meantime, Roger heads to the campsite and finds a Biotone employee pass. That's when he runs into the zombie deer. The man grabs his pocket knife and successfully fights off the monster. He is a true Boy Scout leader. Unfortunately, the zombie from the lab appears right afterward, and Roger can't get away from it. Ben and Carter want to buy a beer. They are still underage, so they give money to a local drunkard and ask him for help. At that moment, an attractive girl named Denise appears outside the store. She used to study at their school, but dropped out and now works at a local dance club. The girl drops her belongings, and Ben helps her pick them up. In gratitude, Denise returns to the store and buys some beer for the boys. Ben and Carter arrive in the woods and find Augie there. Their friend has already started setting up the camp. The friends are surprised that Roger hasn't come yet. After all, he is the leader of the scouts. Could it be a test? The boys set up camp, pitch their tents, take all the stuff out of their backpacks, goof around, collect firewood, dig pits, and in general have a great time. The evening comes, the scouts make a fire and chat about everything in the world before falling asleep. Carter wakes Ben up at night and calls him to the senior party. And there's a lot to see: beautiful girls, rousing music, dancing, and absolute fun. Ben and Carter sneak out to their car. They notice Roger's knife lying on the ground next to someone else's footprints. Still, the party is more important, and the friends get in the car. At that moment, they spot Augie, and the guy immediately accuses his friends of betrayal. Offended Augie walks away, while Ben and Carter drive into town. They notice that the streets are surprisingly empty for a Friday night. The friends park outside a dance club. Ben sees that someone has broken glass in the store across the street. Carter notices that there is no guard at the club and offers his friend to go there. And here they are. Surprisingly, there's no one inside too. All the people seem to have disappeared. All of a sudden, the guard shows up. He's also a zombie. The friends try to escape from the monster. Carter is attacked by a zombie dancer, and a glass bottle saves his life. Ben hides in one of the restroom stalls, but the zombie guard kicks all the doors down one by one. Scout is saved by Denise with a shotgun. Outside, another zombie approaches the protagonist, and Denise solves the problem with her shotgun. The monsters become so numerous that the youngsters have to run away from them urgently. Their car's tire fell off, and they put on a spare one with truly incredible speed, while Denise fights off the zombies. Luckily, they make it in time. At the same time, Augie arrives at the senior scout Roger's house. The boy wanders through the rooms and realizes that the leader of his group is obsessed with girls. He leaves a note for his mate, uses his restroom, and meets Roger himself in one of the rooms. The only problem is that the scout leader has already become a zombie. Augie fights him off with a portrait sculpture and falls down the stairs in an attempt to escape. Roger catches up with the guy in the basement, but Augie sets the zombie on fire, knocks him out, and ties him to a chair and runs away. Ben, Carter, and Denise head to the police station. There they find a notice saying that the city has been evacuated. The crowd of zombies approaches them, so the protagonists have to barricade themselves in the station. Yet there is a zombie cop waiting for them inside. They manage to defeat him with a fire extinguisher and an axe. Meanwhile, the zombies from the street break the glass and keep chasing the main characters. The only way to salvation is to lock themselves up in one of the prison cells. This is where the zombies can't get to them. Carter and Ben are worried about Augie's fate, and Denise confesses that she had bad luck with guys all the time. All of a sudden, the zombies leave. Apparently, they're distracted by loud music outside. It's a perfect time to get out of the trap, but the key to the cell is hanging on the opposite wall. Ben tries to save his friends by making a fishing rod out of mop and condoms. Using it, Ben almost succeeds in getting the key, but at that moment, Augie runs into the station and sends it down the drain with a single awkward movement of his foot. Still, he's a real scout, so he picks the cell lock with his penknife. The youngsters run outdoors, lock the gates, and leave the town on foot. They spot a drunken zombie on the road. Augie tries to scare him away and notices a picture of Britney Spears on his t-shirt. Turns out the man was her fan. The scouts sing him one of Britney's songs, and the zombie joyfully sings along. The concert is interrupted by a single well-placed bullet. It's Corporal Reeves. He gives the teens a ride in his military SUV and keeps searching for survivors. The main characters inform him about the secret seniors party that was held in town. However, when the rescuers arrive at the given address, they find themselves in a waste processing plant. Apparently, Kendall's friends fooled them. The protagonists immediately start arguing and mentioning all the offenses. At one point, the quarrel escalates into a fight. That's when Corporal Reeves turns into a zombie and attacks Denise. It looks like someone bit him. The scouts deal with him and hear an announcement on the military radio that the town will be bombed in 2 hours. Carter says that they must return to town and find his sister's diary, because there she might have written the address. The friends head to Carter's house, enter Kendall's room, and begin their search. During this time, a zombie neighbor named Mrs. Fielder sneaks into the house. Hearing a suspicious noise, Carter and Augie go downstairs, and the neighbor immediately attacks them. In the meantime, Ben confesses to Denise that he is in love with Kendall, and the girl asks him to kiss her. She shows the guy how to do it properly. A loud noise of fighting on the first floor attracts a lot of zombies. They break into the house and attack the protagonists. Scout and Denise have to jump on a trampoline over a high fence to save their lives. Carter does it first, and then goes Denise, followed by Augie. Now it's Ben's turn. He finally finds Kendall's diary, but there are too many zombies on the trampoline at this point. Denise distracts the monsters, and Ben uses the one time to fall on the trampoline. He's saved. The protagonists hide in Mrs. Fielder's house. There, they come across a pack of zombie cats. A frying pan solves the problem, yet there are too many zombie cats, and the youngsters have to flee for their lives. They spot scout leader Roger on the road, and Ben furiously presses the gas pedal. Once out of town, the main characters split up. Denise goes to the military base on her motorcycle for backup, and the scouts head to the party to rescue all the survivors. They drive into a hardware store on the way and arm themselves. Each guy chooses the best weapon and turns into a real fighter. Let's check what's going on at the seniors' party. A loving couple decides to find a private place in the basement, but in the midst of the fun, a zombie joins them and takes place of one of the participants. Meanwhile, Kendall can't figure out where her brother is and argues with her boyfriend because he gave the scouts the wrong address. Zombies show up at the party and cause real mayhem. Kendall runs to the exit, opens the door, but sees even more zombies that have come from the town. The party turns into utter madness. That's when the three scout friends come into the scene through the back door and start massacring the hungry zombies. They're the true heroes. Ben gets into a fight with Kendall's zombie boyfriend and saves his beloved. When the scouts run out of ammo, they lead the high school students out of the building and divert the zombies' attention. After reaching the gym, they realize there's no way out. Augie suggests setting up a big explosion with a self-made bomb, but in that case, the guys will have to sacrifice their lives. All of a sudden, Denise appears in the garage chute and shows the scouts the way out. Augie activates his bomb at the very last moment. After sliding down the pipe, the guys spot Zombie Roger in front of them. Unfortunately, they've lost all their weapons. As they are looking for something to fight off the zombie with, a grenade falls at his feet. It's the promised military backup. All the surviving residents of the town arrive at the military base. Ben kisses Kendall. It's a success.